All right, ladies and gents, so if you're confused by the countless amount of credit card options that are available on the market, or maybe you just want to go from having those basic beginner credit cards that offer no real perks or benefits to getting approved for some of the most premium, prestigious credit cards on the market, then you're in luck, because in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the exact step-by-step process and how you can climb the credit card ladder in 2023. And along the way, I'll also be sharing some of my own personal journey and how I've been able to climb the credit card ladder as well. Starting things off, we have the first tier, or what I would refer to as the baby tier. So if you fall into this tier, it's likely that you have no real credit history or even a credit score yet, and it's very likely that this will actually be your first ever credit card. So within the baby tier, you're gonna have mainly options like student cashback credit cards or secured credit cards. And if you don't know the difference between a secured credit card and a regular credit card, unlike a traditional credit card where you're approved and that credit issuer gives you a line of credit based on your overall credit score and credit worthiness, with a secured credit card, you're going to put down a safety deposit, and that safety deposit is going to act as your credit limit. So say you were to go out and get something like the secured Capital One Platinum card and put a $500 deposit down, that means you're going to have a credit limit of $500. Now, the reason that credit issuers do this is so that if you stop paying your credit card for whatever reason, or you can't make the payments, they're going to use that initial deposit that you put down to pay off your balance. And after using a secured credit card responsibly for 6 to 12 months, sometimes that credit issuer will actually increase your credit limit beyond the initial deposit, or in some cases, they might even give you a completely unsecured line of credit. But either way, whether either of those actually happens or not, after using a secured credit card responsibly for about 6 to 12 months, you're going to be ready to move on to the next tier, which is going to be tier 2, or our beginner credit card tier. Within the beginner credit card tier, you're going to have a lot of the beginner cashback credit cards like the Chase Freedom Flex or Freedom Unlimited, the Citi Custom or Double Cash, and the Capital One Quicksilver card. Now, within this tier, what you're going to notice is that your credit cards that you're applying for are going to start coming with some sort of sign-up bonus or sign-up offer, usually in the form of something like $200 cash back after you spend a certain amount of money within a certain period of time after opening that credit card. And since these credit cards are going to be beginner cashback credit cards, unlike the previous tier where you're not really getting any benefits or rewards back, with these credit cards, you're going to be able to start earning cash back in the form of something like 5% back on rotating categories with the Chase Freedom Flex, or you could go with something like the Capital One Quicksilver that's going to be able to get you unlimited 1.5% cash back. Now, this is the tier that I myself personally started out in with the Capital One Quicksilver card, and remember, with these credit cards, they're still not the most premium credit cards on the market, but there is a lot of great options within this tier that offer some pretty nice benefits and rewards back. And for the credit cards in this tier, I would say that ideally you want to have a credit score of about 670 and above. Of course, there are some outliers and some reports of people getting approved for credit cards in this tier with less than 670 credit scores, but I would always recommend that you have at least a 670 if you want the best chance of being approved. Now, moving on to tier 3, we have what I call the mid-tier travel card section. And within this category, it's going to be important that you know two things about the credit cards on this section. And number one, that's going to be that these credit cards are going to come with annual fees. And the second thing that you need to know is that the credit cards on this list are not going to be as easy to get approved for as the beginner cashback credit cards. As an example, I would recommend that you have a score of at least 700 before applying for the credit cards in this tier if you want to have the best chance of being approved. But within this tier, you're also going to be getting bigger sign-up bonuses as well as better benefits on the credit card itself. So for example, if you look up on the screen, you can see one of the cards I have listed is the Amex Gold card. And just as an example, when I got this credit card, I was able to get a sign-up bonus of 90,000 ultimate reward points. And if we're being conservative with that at 1 cent to 1 point, that's a value of $900 that I was able to use for free travel. Now, another thing to talk about when you're looking at the mid-tier category is going to be which credit card are going to be keeper cards. And what I mean by keeper cards are going to be credit cards that, even though come with higher annual fees, the benefits or the value that you get out of the credit card actually outweighs the annual fee, or you're at least able to break even. So for example, if you take a look, you see the World of Hyatt credit card up on the screen. And while this credit card has a $95 annual fee, you're also able to get a free one-night stay each year at participating Hyatt properties. And the value of this can range from maybe $100 $250 all the way up to $300. So even after you pay that $95 annual fee, the net value or the positive value that you're getting out of this credit card still far outweighs that annual fee. So I would count this as a keeper credit card. So with this tier, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you weigh out the pros and cons of each credit card. And anytime a credit card comes with any sort of annual fee, make sure that that card makes sense for your lifestyle and that you can either get more value in return or at least break even on your annual fee. Now, moving on to the next tier, this one's going to be more of an optional tier, and this is going to be business credit cards. So the biggest benefit that comes with business credit cards is that they're going to allow you to get some extra credit card points, as typically these credit cards are going to come with higher sign-up bonuses. But another huge benefit of business credit cards is that since they do not report to your personal credit, you can get these and open these accounts without affecting your personal score too much outside of maybe one hard inquiry. Now, this can also be a great option if maybe you've already gotten most of the personal credit cards on the market that interest you and you want to move on to some other options, or you just want to be able to expand your setup to include some business cards. And in case you didn't already know, you don't necessarily need a business, or at least what you would consider to be a traditional business, to actually get approved for business credit cards. And if you're interested in more information on that topic, you can actually check out a video that I recently uploaded on how to get approved for business credit cards. All right, so moving on to the final tier of credit cards, we have the premium tier list. And within this tier, you're going to notice that the annual fees are going to be a lot higher, and they're going to range from something like $395 for the Capital One Venture X all the way up to $695 a year for something like the American Express Platinum card. And within this tier, another thing that you're going to notice is that the credit requirements are going to be a little bit more strict, and you're going to need a higher credit score to be approved. So for any type of premium credit card, I would always recommend having a credit score of at least 720 or above if you want the best chances of being approved. But similar to what we talked about earlier about gaining positive value, what you're going to notice with a lot of the credit cards in this tier is that, well, yes, most of them do come with higher annual fees. A lot of the credit cards give you credits and benefits and perks that are able to either completely offset the annual fee, and some of these perks and benefits, to mention a few, include things like airline or hotel traveling credits, instant statuses to different hotels or rental car brands, airport lounge access, and much more. For example, if you take a look at something like the Capital One Venture X, well, it does have a $395 annual fee. It also comes with a $300 yearly travel credit for use in the Capital One travel portal, and a 10,000 mile anniversary bonus, which basically just equals another $100 a year that you get, meaning that even after your annual fee of $395, you essentially profit $5 from having this credit card. But again, remember, like we talked about earlier, it is very important to make sure that any credit card that comes with annual fees aligns with your lifestyle and makes sense for you personally. Otherwise, you're just paying the credit card company an annual fee for no reason. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for my video on climbing the credit card ladder in 2023. If you found any information at all in this video informative and enjoyed it, I would appreciate if you could drop a like, as it helps me and the channel out tremendously. And if you are new and are interested in more content just like this, where we cover personal finance and credit card tips, then make sure to hit the subscribe button while you're down there so you never miss a new upload. As always, each and every one of you are incredible, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day.